Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Nothing to See Here podcast. Hi, it's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
So, Frankie, I found out that you are shit at puzzles.
I'm not great at puzzles. I'm not great at puzzles if they're all the same fucking night sky and my eye is bothering me. You're right.
That sounds like a cop-out.
It is a cop-out. I'm not good at puzzles that are just all the same color. I'm not a puzzle person. I'm a Lego guy.
Mm-hmm.
I can do Legos. And
I did
can
have
do puzzle games.
I do have a Peter Pan Lego set that we could have done.
Oh, what do you mean? What, you didn't break out the Lego set? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Should have broke out the Lego set.
I could have.
It would have been so impressive. I'm like the Lego guys in the game. Just like my hands go together. It's a rapid blur. You don't know what's happening.
What about a Lego jigsaw puzzle?
That's fine because they tell you what pieces to use. So it's all good. Hannah, before we start, you sent a text to the group chat.
Oh, I did! See, I forgot.
Yeah, you have an idea for the best Halloween costume ever.
Or the stupidest. Either the best of the best or the worst of the worst. I was hanging out with my aunt today, and we were making fun of Elon Musk and Trump and all them. And she brought up the transgenic mice.
Oh, the transgenic mice.
And she said my head almost exploded when he said transgender mice. And I said that would be a great Halloween costume.
To be a transgender mouse?
Yes.
What was that thing? The gay rat wedding? You remember that?
Oh, from Arthur. The teacher
yeah.
got gay married, and everyone was freaking out about the gay rat wedding.
The gay rat wedding, yeah.
All the conservatives are very upset about the gay rat wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Be very scary to your local MAGA Republicans this Halloween and dress up as a gay rat or a transgender mouse.
I was thinking it was going to be something fun like Poison Ivy.
But, like, that's a costume
that's
everyone
pretty
knows about.
basic.
Yeah, it's a basic costume. Everyone knows about Poison Ivy.
What are you talking about? Like, actual Poison Ivy? Not the...
Oh, the plant.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. That's different.
Or go dressed as measles.
Well, that is terrifying for conservatives. They're very susceptible to it because they don't have vaccines.
Yeah, I know.
Please get vaccinated.
Hey,
no,
yes.
You know what?
This is where we dip into our
Darwinism.
conservative Christian podcast. Get your kids vaccinated.
I don't know.
Here's the thing, Amanda. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, we'll get rid of stupid people. Problem is, if they don't get vaccinated, they could then spread the disease to people who legitimately cannot get vaccinated because they have poor immune systems.
God damn it, Frankie, you're right.
The people with autoimmune diseases who can't get the vaccine will die because the other people are stupid. So, while I do think they're idiots and deserve consequences, these are societal consequences that we can't afford. So get your kids vaccinated. Don't be stupid. Alright? That's our good Christian parenting advice from the Christian Parenting Podcast. Nothing to see here. Now, let's talk about what all good Christians love. Witches. What are we talking about tonight, guys?
It's a Scooby-Doo episode. And it stars Tim Curry.
Which, let's give it up for Amanda's name tonight. It is a good one, Amanda.
Thank you.
I think this is your best name so far.
Thank you.
The name is Tim Curry Rice. I mean, that's a great name.
I worked really hard on it.
It's a good play on words. It's great. I like it.
Thank you.
Now, we are talking about Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. Hannah will be taking us through the review, or the plot of the movie. But before we do that, we'll talk about, some things about the movie. This one was released October 4th, 1999. So about a year after the Zombie Island movie they gave us, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. It's directed by Jim Stenstrom, written by Rick Kopp, who wrote for Golden Girls and Teen Titans, and David A. Goodman, who also wrote for Golden Girls and Futurama. And David Goodman, also a writer for the first two Fred movies. So, there we go.
Those are all vastly different quality.
I know, right? Very fluctuated quality there. We have Davis Doy and Glenn Leopold, who were both Hanna-Barbera, Warner Brothers staples. who also worked on the writing of the movie. The cast is Scott Innes as Scooby-Doo and Shaggy.
Mm-hmm.
B.J. Ward as Velma. Frank Welker as Fred Jones and the Turkey. Mary Kay Bergman as Daphne Blake and the Witch's Ghost. Tim Curry as Ben Ravencroft. Tim Curry's here, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
He's back.
Oh, he's back. How excited are we for Tim Curry?
I'm always excited.
I just want to put this out here. If Tim Curry, I know, he's out there. He's probably, like, chilling, doing whatever Tim Curry does. If Tim Curry ever hears this, please know in my heart of hearts, I would love it if you came on the show and talked about your voice acting.
So good.
You're so fantastic. I mean, even your actual acting, but your voice acting, you were my childhood.
Please, we love you.
We love you, please.
Please, what do you think about Timothy Salamander possibly taking on the role of Frankenfurter?
Also, guys, he has a book that's supposed to come out this year.
Are you serious?
Does he?
A memoir called Vagabond.
I love that.
Oh, that's dope.
It's supposed to come out in October of this year, so everyone get ready to read about Tim Curry's life. Jennifer Hale as Thorne.
Another person who was my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Neil Ross as Mayor Corey. Jane Weedlin, who was a co-founder of the band The Go-Go's, as Dusk. Bob Joles, who was the second voice actor of Man Ray in SpongeBob, is Jack and Dr. Dean.
I'm sorry, let me just, the Go-Go's.
Yes.
Famously known for the jukebox musical Head Over Heels.
Yes.
Oh no.
Which is a very different kind of music than what the Hex Girls are putting out.
Yeah.
Our third Hex Girl is Kimberly Brooks as Luna, also known as the voice of Ashley Williams in the Mass Effect games and the voice of Barbara Gordon in the Arkham game. So, Amanda, you've been hearing her voice quite a bit recently.
I have. I've been replaying the Arkham games. I'm on Arkham City right now, so.
Tress McNeil, who is Dot from the Animaniacs, as the voice of Sarah Ravencroft. Which is not, I didn't know, when I looked up who was the voice, I was like, okay, that's Dot Warner. And then I heard her voice as Sarah Ravencroft. I was like, oh my god. She's a great, I knew she was good, but damn. And finally, Peter Renaday as Mr. McKnight. He is known as voicing Splinter in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series from the 80s. And, importantly for Amanda, he's Abraham Lincoln in the Disney Hall of Presidents.
I've only been in that ride once because it's...
Well, it's infected now.
What? Oh, well,
There's a disease in that ride.
Yeah, right. There's unfortunately. But, yeah, I was only in there once because it was very boring to me.
It is boring. I love history and it's still boring.
Yeah,
You just sit there as animatronics of various presidents talk, and not all of them talk, just some. Just the important ones.
Yeah. It
is the ride that your dad drags you on.
No.
It is very much a dad ride, though.
No, I think I dragged my dad, actually. Because I was a kid, and I was like, we gotta do everything.
It's also the ride you go to if it's, like, really hot. You just need to be inside for a little bit.
Not wait in a giant line.
Yeah, because there's never a line for it. Alright, well that's the people who made the film, the voice cast. Let's get into the making of the film. We don't have a lot of details for this one. Believe me, I fucking tried to find as much as I could about the making of this movie. Because I wanted to know how they got Tim Curry.
Isn't Tim Curry, like, a fan of Scooby-Doo?
He is.
And then they, like, got the call. They're like, do you want to do Scooby-Doo? And he went, yeah. I do want to be in Scooby-Doo.
I wanted to know, like, how that went about getting Tim Curry on in this role.
They just called him.
I think they literally just called him.
They just called him, and they were like, hey, So, we hear you like Scooby-Doo. We're doing a Scooby-Doo movie. You are great at being villains in movies. Would you like to be our villain?
Spoilers, come on.
Dude, okay. Even as a kid, the moment I heard Tim Curry's voice in this movie, I was like, oh, he's the bad guy, 100%.
Well, originally, he wasn't supposed to be the villain, as we'll talk about.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
So, after the success of Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island...
No, it's Zombie-Doo now.
After the success of Zombie-Doo, which received better sales than Warner Brothers expected, the team behind that movie were tasked with creating a second Scooby-Doo direct-to-video film. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, like we talked about, the crew made it with very little oversight from executives because it was just like, hey, let's see what you guys can do with this. We think it'll make us money. Go make a movie. Well, it made money, so Warner Brothers got involved. They scaled back the creative freedom that the team had considerably and suggested that screenwriters Rick Kopp and David A. Goodman join the team, which insulted the original team that produced the first film in total autonomy. Mm-hmm. The studio also requested that they tone down the content as they feared Zombie Island had proved to be too scary for its intended audience.
It wasn't.
It was when I was a child.
No, it wasn't. Hannah, you need to grow a pair.
All right.
I said as a child.
You still needed to grow a pair even as a child.
And I did.
So the original script that Kopp and Goodman had was that the townspeople were using the witch as a publicity stunt. And that's the end of the movie. That's it.
No.
Oh.
The Zombie Island team was like, this isn't good. So Glenn Leopold rewrote the entire last third of the film, introducing the concept that the ghost was real and making Ben Ravencroft the villain, trying to gain power and bring his ancestor back. Glenn Leopold did not receive any royalties for rewriting the last third of the film, or a real writing credit on the actual film, but they do give him his writing credit for the next one, for Alien Invasion, and so he gets the royalties from that. Which is, like, good, he deserves the recognition. But also, of the 4 films, I think Alien Invasion is the one that people either least remember and least like.
That is correct. At least for me.
Okay, so this is where my controversial opinion comes in. I vaguely remembered this one. I remember all of the Hex Girl parts. That's it. Did not remember a lot of other things. I think I remembered the pumpkin, but...
Well, the pumpkins are iconic, because the pumpkins become the token for one of the enemies in Betrayal at House on the Hill. They use the same design.
You're right. But yeah, this one was the one that I think I watched the least. So for me, it went Zombie Island, Cyber Chase, Alien Invaders, and then this one.
Yeah, for me it was Cyber Chase, Zombie Island, then this one, and then by a wide margin, Alien Invasion.
May I give my ranking then?
Yeah.
Zombie Island, Witch's Ghost, Cyber Chase, Aliens.
I like how Cyber Chase has not been anybody's bottom.
No, because it's
amazing.
It is meta and it's good.
Yeah, it's everything you want from a Scooby-Doo movie from, like, that era.
Cyber Chase is one of my favorites. The only reason I'm putting Zombie Island ahead of it is because, I mean, come on. It was beautifully done.
For the release of Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, Warner Brothers released an album called Scooby-Doo's Snack Tracks, the Ultimate Collection. It had the theme songs from all of the shows from Scooby-Doo Where Are You up to the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. It had 3 of the very bad songs from the Scooby Goes Hollywood movie.
Oh.
Had a couple of bonus tracks on there.
Did it have Terror Time again?
It did not. It didn't have anything from the actual movie itself. It just had theme songs and, like I said, it had from Scooby Goes Hollywood, it had Move Over, Ruby Cool Guy, and God Have Times. You know, the 2 love songs about a woman.
The one where they were singing to a dog. Yeah, we didn't know.
A dog. and then the one where he is a cool guy, Scooby-Doo. But that album did amazingly well. It peaked at number 5 on Billboard's Kid Album chart and stayed in the top 25 for over 26 weeks.
All right.
Because of this, Warner Brothers did release a full-length soundtrack for Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost.
I have it.
It's a good soundtrack because it has the Hex Girls.
You're right. I had this. That was the only reason.
Kid Rhino partnered with Warner Home Video and Cartoon Network to release the soundtrack for the film. According to Rhino VP Carol Lee, we work closely with Warner Home Video so that we're part of everything they do. The soundtrack to the film was treated like that of a theatrical release. We created a music video which appeared on the home video. On September 14th, 1999, the soundtrack was released on CD and audio cassette with songs by the Hex Girls and Billy Ray Cyrus performing Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? We'll get into this now because I have this in my notes. What do we think of Billy Ray Cyrus performing Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?
I don't. Easily forgettable.
He is at the bottom of the list, I think.
It is the worst version.
But once you realize it's Billy Ray Cyrus, you can't unhear his voice.
You cannot, you're right. It's like, oh yeah, this is Billy Ray Cyrus. Oh. Speaking of the Hex Girls, there was an idea at the time, and the idea consistently comes up again and again, to make a Hex Girls TV show.
Do it.
But it's just never come to be. The 3 voice actresses have all said in various interviews that they were willing to do it.
I did look this up when I was writing my notes of the plot synopsis, and I was on the Hex Girls Wikipedia page, and the last time it was brought up was 2019.
Yeah.
When someone thought about doing a Hex Girls TV show.
They've brought it up every so often, yeah.
Every time the Hex Girls make an appearance, someone says they should have their own show, and everyone goes yes, and nothing ever happens.
It's really sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sad. The Hex Girls.
It's like that movie where they had songs recorded for the Hex Girls, and then the movie got cut.
Yeah. So the Hex Girls have 6, did I do my math right? 7 songs in the, on the album, on the track listing. Not all of them are in the movie, obviously. I think they only performed 2 or 3 in the movie. Hex Girl and Earth, Wind, Fire, and Air. And then they perform one, I don't know which one it is, at the end credits. But, the one in the end credits is not really the Hex Girls. Canonically, the Hex Girls. Like, I think it's the Hex Girls, but it's not the Hex Girls. It's weird. So, the Hex Girls, the 3 voice actresses perform the songs during when they're there. They have a song called The Witch's Ghost, but they don't use Jennifer Hale, Jane Wiedlin, or Kimberly Brooks when they perform that song. There's 3 different singing voices for that song for some reason. What?
Sorry, I got
attacked by the Hex Girls?
No. This is important for at least Hannah. Hannah will find this important. Mamma Mia is coming back to Broadway.
Oh yeah, I heard about that the other day.
Yeah, I just found out about it because I got a text message from someone. Sorry, I wasn't expecting.
Oh, okay, well, good. Mamma Mia is coming back, everyone. Be ready.
What? Dude, the fuck? What was that reaction? Do you
not
like Mamma Mia?
Mamma Mia is okay. I'd rather just listen to ABBA sing it.
ABBA.
Alright, ABBA. I'd rather just listen to ABBA.
Did you say ABBA?
I did say ABBA.
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 Alright. Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost was released on VHS on October 5th, 1999, and then on DVD on March 6th, 2001. The VHS has the pilot episode for Courage the Cowardly Dog on it. In 2024, it was released on Blu-ray for the first time through the Warner Archive Collection package with Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders. The film earned a 50% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. David Parkinson of Radio Times gave the film a 2 out of 5 stars, saying, "This full-length cartoon featuring the ghost-hunting teenage detectives is something of a mixed bag." Joe Newmeyer from Entertainment Weekly said, "Though slyly written, it doesn't have the punch of last year's Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, but it's still scarier than the Blair Witch Project.
Wow.
That man hates the Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch is catching strays.
It did. It caught a stray for no reason in this guy's review of this. Like I said, Billy West, who is Shaggy on Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island, is not Shaggy anymore. It is Scott Innes. The reason being is that Billy West got cast as Philip Fry, Professor Farnsworth, and Dr. John Zoidberg on Futurama, so he was not able to voice Shaggy. They thought of replacing him with Danny Cooksey. Rob Paulsen was considered.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Bennett, Tom Kenny, or D. Bradley Baker, all of whom are just all phenomenal voice actors. But eventually, they gave it to Scott Innes. So he will be Shaggy and Scooby in this, like I said. This movie was also, at the time, criticized by religious groups who claimed the Hex Girls were, quote, of the devil, luring young girls into Wicca witchcraft.
You're damn right.
All right. Okay. So, as somebody who is a witch and has a lot of beliefs that coincide with Wicca, I have some issues with this film. That's not one of them, though.
Your issue isn't that the Hex Girls are of the devil, luring young girls into witchcraft?
No. Lure more people into witchcraft, please.
The Hex Girls, they could lure me into witchcraft.
Was this your sexual awakening, Frankie?
I don't think this was my sexual awakening, but as I got older and was rewatching the movies, I was like, damn, look at the Hex Girls. So, the movie is a 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb. We're going to start with the good review. Left on June 26, 2009 by Sesamaru10. This is their 10 out of 10 review.
Well, somebody likes Inuyasha.
You should definitely check this movie out. Out of the first 4 Scooby-Doo movies, this has got to be my favorite of them all. And it's not just because of Tim Curry, Billy Ray Cyrus, and the Hex Girls, but because the plot and character designs are so well done in this that I'd even bought myself a copy of this great film. Compared to Zombie Island, though, the story isn't as dark, but it's still awesome animation-wise. It starts out having fake monsters, but at the end there's a real ghost. A witch's ghost, to be precise. A ghost that also looks nothing like who it was when it was living. In terms of music, it's great. I think this movie has the best soundtrack out of them all, and I'm just so addicted to the Hex Girls. Best cartoon band ever.
I will agree the Hex Girls are a pretty great cartoon band.
I can't think of a better
Billy Ray Cyrus did not need to be in your review.
They like the Billy Ray Cyrus version. And now we have a review left from on November 11th, 2024. This is the only 1-star review. There are other 1-star ratings, but this is the only person who was like, I gotta write a review.
When was the 5-star review written? What year was it?
The 10-star?
Yeah.
2009.
Okay.
It's from 2024. I cannot pronounce the name because it's literally just all consonants. There's no vowels. Not kid-friendly at all. As my review title says, this movie is not for kids at all. Unless you don't mind witchcraft, mentioning of the occult, casting spells, someone claiming to be a warlock, summoning evil, and lots of references to Wicca. I turned it off halfway through because I felt it was too evil for my kids.
I knew this was going to be from an extremist.
I finished it later without the kids just to be sure I did the right thing, and I don't regret it at all. Sorry, I gotta read the sentence correctly. I don't regret it all. This movie is not just some villain in a mask. Yes, it has that, but the main villain is an actual witch's ghost. It's very evil, dark, and heavy for a supposed kids movie. Listen, I'm not a prude. I grew up watching Scooby-Doo for years. This is too much. Just beware, if you don't want your kids watching anything related to witchcraft, spells, and the occult, there's a lot of other Scooby-Doo shows out there to choose from. Skip this one.
To whoever wrote that, your kids are going to fucking hate you, and you need to fucking grow a pair and learn how to just accept things in society, even if you don't like them. Just recognize that things are just going to be there that you don't like.
Everyone's being told to grow a pair tonight. Damn.
I fucking hate people like this. My kids shouldn't be, taught this filth or whatever. Yeah, they should, because it's in the world.
The Hex Girls, though, I guess are scary to people.
No! They're not! They're fucking awesome!
They are awesome.
Do you think this person left essentially the same review on Wicked?
No, I bet you this person was like, oh, Wicked was so great. It was amazing. I loved it.
I love Wicked.
Yeah.
The witch is evil in that movie. They got the wrong message from that movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They definitely got the wrong message. They really thought Elphaba was the villain of the piece. I want to click on their link and see if they've left other reviews.
Don't. I don't want to give them anything anymore.
They're a fan of Desperate Housewives, apparently.
Are you kidding me?
They have I think they left a 10-star on Desperate Housewives.
Mhm.
And a 10-star on The Mummy.
Like Brandon Fraser.
Yeah.
Mummy. 1990s Mummy.
Mhm.
One of the best films ever.
Yeah.
Is it a good one?
They left 10 stars.
Okay. All right.
I don't have their actual review. That's just their rating. But they left a 10-star rating on there. I guess maybe their reasoning is they've only reviewed one film, and it's Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. They've only left a review for one movie.
Because it's for children.
Yeah. I guess that's their reasoning. Their reasoning is this is for kids. Kids shouldn't be exposed to witchcraft.
Bet you she's like the type of parent who is like, Harry Potter was evil too.
I wish they would leave more ratings.
I don't.
All I know is they're a fan of the Andy Griffith Show, Desperate Housewives, Smallville, and The Mummy. Okay. And not a fan of Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost.
Apparently not.
I kind of want to do, like, an episode deep dive on this person's ratings and reviews.
They
need to leave more. They need to leave more. I'm going to keep an eye on this account, this IMDb account. But, well, I'm keeping an eye on that IMDb account. Hannah, you kept an eye on this movie, hopefully.
I did.
Take us through Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost.
Our film opens on a museum in the dead of night.
Oh god, this is going to be a long review, isn't it?
Hannah actually rewrote the script.
I know.
I'm actually going to send you your parts and scripts in right now.
I'm gonna cry.
Next episode you lead. I'm just gonna complain the whole time.
You could. I try and make mine quick. Except for the smutty one.
As the credits roll, we see the Scooby Gang pretending to be wax figures in various displays. And then we cut to the museum curator leaving his office. And Fred, by the way, has a fuck-ass bob. Now, the curator is visibly spooked. And as he passes two sarcophagi, they slowly creak open. The curator backs up in fear and jump scares himself by walking into a button that narrates about prehistoric life. As he's picking up a bunch of papers he's dropped, Scooby and Shaggy freak out because from the sarcophagi, two Viking mummies pop out. And I've never been 100% sure if the gang is working for the curator or if they think he's involved. But Scooby and Shaggy do warn this man about the mummies behind him. And then he does freak out because the wax statues of Scooby and Shaggy are now talking. Scooby releases a net from the ceiling, trapping the villains. But they have swords, so they cut right through the net, and we get a chase scene. The Scooby-Doo Where Are You theme plays, and yeah, it's Billy Ray Cyrus.
For some reason.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, the chase scene ends with an unknown sixth party tripping the mummies. We meet Ben Ravencroft, aka Tim Curry, and yes, I will once again be referring to him as Tim Curry throughout the entirety of this plot summary. Tim Curry gets the honor of unmasking the villains. As it turns out, it's two disgruntled archaeologists who are behind this crime that we don't know anything about. Tim Curry says he was doing research in the museum when he caught the archaeologists acting sus, so he decided to play detective. And this entire time, Velma has been fangirling over him. She is a stan. As it turns out, Tim Curry knows who the Scooby Gang is in return. And now Velma has died and gone to heaven because she is standing there exulting at Tim Curry's feet.
I mean, if Tim Curry recognized who I was, I'd also act like that.
I know, I did write, me too, girl, me too.
There is a part, and I know we haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm just going to say it anyway. I'm actually going to say two things. Have we talked about Shaggy's haircut with the mullet?
I didn't bring that up at all.
No. Okay. Well, I did not like it.
Well, it was a wig, so.
I know. Didn't look great. Second thing, and this is more to do with Tim Curry and Velma. I know that when you meet your heroes or idols, you tend to, like, spew out the mouth. I don't think I would be able to sit an entire car ride just talking to my idol about their shit. I feel like that would make them really uncomfortable. I would be really uncomfortable if somebody spent, like, a whole car ride talking to me about my artwork or, like, my job or career. I'd be like, what do you like to eat? Like, can we talk about something other than me? Please? Please.
I think for us normal people, that's true, but evil villain Ben Ravencroft probably fucking loved it.
Oh, I don't know, because he looked kind of uncomfy in the car.
He looked uncomfy.
I think he's acting uncomfy. He's like he's got a big ego. When he reveals himself, he's a little egotistical.
Just a little.
I mean, I say a little to be nice about it. He does ask an ancient, powerful ghost to serve him. But, you know.
And she girl bosses him. So Tim Curry invites the gang to visit Oak Haven with him. It's a quaint New England town where he grew up. And Velma at this point is just planning her wedding to Tim Curry.
Yeah, you know, the quaint American towns where you grow up with a British accent.
Yeah. Well, he spends a lot of time in Europe. Also, in the travel scene, they begin this trip in San Francisco. We see the Golden Gate Bridge as they're driving before it cuts to the New England foliage. That's like a fucking week-long drive.
Mm-hmm.
You know Scooby and Shaggy are stopping for snacks at every gas station they see. And this is all for a weekend trip.
I've gone very far for weekend trips. I went 10 hours to Boston.
Yeah, but you didn't go across the country.
You didn't start in California and go to Massachusetts.
But would I? Yeah. But I'd also be stopping and, like, visiting, like, the giant ball of twine and, like, stupid shit like that.
Here's the thing. I'm inclined to believe that that's what they did.
Yeah, we need that TV show. They always, like, give us TV shows from, like, weird things that we don't need. We need the Scooby-Doo TV show of the road
There's
trip.
no mystery. It's just Shaggy and Scooby making pit stops.
Yeah, but Ben Ravencroft is there, so Tim Curry is on the show. That's the only reason.
Oh, okay, that's the hook. Okay.
Yeah, the hook is we have Tim Curry back, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he does come back in another film.
He does, yeah.
So we get to Oak Haven after this week-long trip, and there's a fuck ton of traffic in this tiny town. Tim Curry is confused because this is far too many people just to look at some leaves and go to a little autumn festival. We meet the mayor and the town pharmacist / general store owner who gives Tim Curry a shirt that says, "I'm at the ghost of Oak Haven and lived."
Sorry.
It's a good shirt. I'd wear it.
I mean, it is a good shirt, yeah.
He does, but I don't think he does the last part.
Spoiler.
I don't know, that's just epic foreshadowing, and it's great to, like, look back and watch it again and be like, I see what you did there.
As it turns out, there have been sightings of the ghost of Sarah Ravencroft ever since the town built a replica Puritan village, and now she haunts the town. Enter spooky, ooh, here. Ooh, spooky.
We don't need to be building Puritan villages again. We have enough of those in Salem.
I like a little historical villages. They're fun.
I think it would be good for this town, because I don't think they have that big of a tourism attraction.
We have enough of them.
Okay, what's that town's economy based off then?
Nothing. That's what this is, a zoo economy. And also,
exactly.
We have a lot of them, Amanda, but not all of them have ghosts throwing fireballs at you. All right?
I'm really gonna punch you.
I would go to the Puritan village haunted by a witch's ghost. I would buy that story and go for a day. I'd pay $40 to get in, like an idiot. We learned Sarah is an ancestor of Ben's, who was a Wiccan medicine woman from back in Puritan times. She could read and write, and she gave people medicine, so she was a witch, obviously.
To be fair, when they show her that little flashback of her,
yeah,
sorry, that lady got healed just by smelling that broth. I would think she was a witch too. That was some good work.
She also got a flower crown.
That's cool.
She's also super pretty.
Sarah?
Who painted that portrait? They lied.
Okay, we don't. That could have been from her youth. She could have been persecuted when she was 50.
No, I like to imagine that Ben Ravencroft painted that.
Yeah.
That right there, yeah.
Because also, the book is different.
Fair.
So, I think he painted, he's like, I'm gonna trick everyone to, like, really want to find that book for me.
He's like, look at my hot ancestor. Tim Curry is pissed, and rightfully so, because the town is using his family history to profit off of. Now, two asides here. As the mayor is telling the gang all of this, Velma is ready to see this ghost and debunk it. Like, girl is ready. She's like, I got all my equipment in the back of the van. Show me the ghost. And we also learn that it's the town's autumn festival that weekend, and the Hex Girls are going to be headlining. The gang walks through the Puritan village. We see all the usual stuff. The turkeys, the candle making, the bread making, and a Great Dane.
Butter churning.
The butter churning by a Great Dane who plays the butter churner like an electric guitar. Very, very important historical aspect right there. It's at the village. We also learn about Sarah Ravencroft's journal. Tim Curry is desperate to find this journal and prove that Sarah wasn't a witch, but he's never had any luck finding it. Shaggy and Scooby are goofing off, and Scooby tries to fight a gopher. It bites him after he reaches into its house. So Scooby digs at the gopher hole a bit more, only to find a rusty buckle of some kind, which the mayor says is likely a shoe buckle.
Could be a hat buckle.
Could be from a hat, could be a belt buckle, we don't know. What we do know is Scooby and Shaggy are hungry. And they're like, we need food now. So they head out to the diner, while Daphne, Fred, and Velma head off with Tim Curry to visit his studio. Tim Curry also tells Shaggy and Scooby he'll pay for the food and just order whatever they want.
I like to imagine that the bill they racked up is what caused him to become evil.
He's like, you're saying it cost $10,000?
He's like, I gotta kill these guys.
In 1999 money? They ate how many eggs in this economy?
Yeah, but there wasn't any bird flu, so the eggs weren't that outrageous, I don't think.
He's just like, I gotta get rid of these guys. They're gonna cost me so much money.
At Tim Curry's studio, which is just a Victorian mansion, by the way, Tim Curry drops more lore regarding Sarah. He tells them that she used to treat her patients under a large oak tree, and he has indeed done a bunch of excavations under the large oak tree in the center of town. But again, he's found nothing.
We cut back where we see the healing broth.
And the flower crown. That's a very important part of the healing process. We cut back to the diner, and Scooby and Shaggy are eating everything the owner puts in front of them.
As they should be.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, that menu sounded great.
The cinnamon apple pie, my stomach actually rumbled.
Ooh, yes. Let me, just bring me dessert. Just bring me a whole fresh pie right now. Tim Curry never said I had to have dinner. I could go straight to dessert if I wanted. Now, these two have eaten so much, so fast. The rest of the diner patrons are disgusted. One guy is so sick that he almost throws up, and he runs out the door.
Yeah, little bitch.
Yeah, that's weakness. That's true weakness.
That's ridiculous.
These people behind me that I don't have to look at are eating too fast?
No, we gotta all stare and scream at these two people. What was one person and a dog. We cut back to the Puritan village, where a ton of tourists are just standing around waiting to see if Sarah's ghost is gonna show up that night. But she doesn't, and the tourists are angry, and they all leave. Shaggy and Scooby finally, after 5 hours, leave the diner. They're literally waddling down the street when they run into 3 women in a dark alley. It's the Hex Girls. And I think this is where I picked this trait up. I hiss at men who bother me. And I think I picked that up from the Hex Girls because when they say hi, there's a hiss that plays with them. And it scares off Shaggy and Scooby. And I think this is the reason why I hiss at men.
Because of the Hex Girls.
Yeah. I've never seen you hiss at a guy.
That's unfortunate, then.
I'm assuming Frankie doesn't count.
No, because Frankie doesn't bother me.
I don't know if Hannah's ever hissed at me.
Frankie is allowed to bother me because he's my friend. Scooby and Shaggy have run away, and now they're lamenting how they're hungry again from running. And then from out of the trees bursts the witch's ghost, who chases them further down the street and throws fireballs at them. Scooby and Shaggy run into the rest of the gang who want to see the ghost. But when they go back to see her, she's gone. Shaggy recounts the story as Velma is investigating some powder on the ground. Shaggy also points out the t-shirt Tim Curry was given and says that the witch looked just like the image printed on said shirt. That's suspicious. Fred looks up and notices a bunch of broken tree branches. He doesn't look up. He finds them laying on the ground. And then Daphne points up and says that they came from the top of the oak trees lining the street, and the trees are now all cut in a perfectly straight line on top. That's weird. Now in the distance, the gang sees lights and hears music playing. It's time to investigate, and we get one of the best scenes in cinematic history. It's the Hex Girls performing I'm a Hex Girl. Mm-hmm. A pop-punk anthem that I will belt out at karaoke the next time I go. During this performance, the characters do be groovin', and Fred gets a crush on Thorn, the band's lead singer and guitarist. And to end this song, the 3 band members throw tiny smoke bombs in their signature colors. Real quick, let me introduce the Hex Girls. Obviously, we've got Thorn. She's the most well-known of the trio. Her color is red. And I found this out from a Tumblr post, so I don't know if this is super true or just a fun little coincidence. But each of the Hex Girls, their look is based off of a classic gothic literature creature. So Thorn is based off the classic vampire. Next is Luna, who is the keyboardist, and she is black and will be whitewashed in Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire. Her signature color is purple, and her look is based off the werewolf. Finally, we have Dusk, the drummer. Her color is a tealy blue-green, and her look is based off of Frankenstein's monster. Post-performance, the Hex Girls fangirl over Tim Curry, and then chide the gang over watching their rehearsal, even though they're literally practicing in a public park on a stage. The gang decides to split up at this point. Daphne and Fred are going to stay and spy on the Hex Girls, while Shaggy, Scooby, Velma, and Tim Curry go back to where Shaggy and Scooby saw the witch's ghosts. Those 4 find tire tracks in the forest, which leads them to an old barn, which they see the mayor come out of and lock up. Shaggy and Scooby are told to follow the mayor and spy on him while Velma and Tim Curry break in the barn. Fred and Daphne overhear the Hex Girls talking about a ritual which only Thorn wants to do that night. So they decide to follow her, and she brews something up in a shed, and Daphne calls her a witch. Fred in this scene also almost confesses his love to Daphne. And that's going to be the last, and we talk about them being an official couple for quite some time in the Scooby-Doo universe. Now, I am just going to jump ahead real quick and say all Thorn made was a tea to help protect her voice and vocal cords. Like, Girly just made throat coat, basically.
Yeah, I literally just, as I was watching her do it, I was just like, this is a fucking tea.
Yeah.
I do this every fucking morning.
Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, that's boiling water. Oh, she's drinking it? Cool. Smells like chamomile. Back with the Shaggy and Scooby, they follow the mayor as he picks up a package from the hardware store, and then he delivers this package to a lady, and we never find out what's in this package. Velma and Tim Curry are busy breaking into the barn. She goes in via window, and inside she finds a cherry picker with the engine still warm. Back with the mayor, he leads Shaggy and Scooby to another barn, this time in town. Now inside, the boys find the titular witch's ghosts. She is very upset with the town, and she chases Shaggy and Scooby again. This time, they run straight through a wall and take out the mayor. They also run into Velma and Tim Curry, who they knock over, and we get the I've lost my glasses gag, where they switch glasses on accident.
And Tim Curry gets to say the line. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you think he put that in his contract?
He might have. He might have just said it.
I'll do it, but I get to say the line. I get to say one of the iconic lines.
I could see that. I was also going to say he might have just said it in recording, and they went, yeah, go with that one. Yeah, do that one. So Daphne and Fred meet back up with the rest of them, and they all share their little bits of information. The mayor finally makes his way over to the six of them, and he's very upset that he just got taken out by a Great Dane, and that there's been some vandalism, basically, in this barn. He takes the group back to said barn to show them that nothing is there. And Tim Curry once again says he's going to pay for Shaggy and Scooby. Velma then goes on to say that the gang should leave O'Haven on account of it being too scary for Shaggy and Scooby. Yeah, everyone is super confused at this point. No one knows what Velma is going on about, but Shag and Scoob, they're like, I agree, let's get the hell out of here. There's a ghost, and it wants us dead. No thank you. Of course, she is lying through her teeth. Velma is ready to solve the mystery of the witch's ghost. She just needs one more clue. Thankfully, she has a plan. We cut to Shaggy and Scooby playing the Hex Girls instruments, and the band shows up because Tim Curry asked them to come. Which, yeah, if Tim Curry said, hey, meet me at this park, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll be there. Don't care it's the dead of night. I'm going. Now, we don't know what Velma's plan is just yet, because the wind picks up and the witch's ghost appears and chases the gang. But Fred and Daphne manage to capture the ghost by whacking it with a big tree branch. Kind of like how they took out that one zombie in Zombie Island.
Fell for the oldest trick in the book.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Except this one, this time, the villain did not get cut in half. So, you know, good for them. They haven't murdered anyone tonight.
No, they just broke some guy's ribs.
We unmask the ghost, and it turns out to be the pharmacist. In this moment, we learn Thorn's real name is Sally McKnight, and her dad is the pharmacist. Have that fun bit of lore.
I refuse to believe that's her name. Her name's Thorn.
That's right. Velma reveals that there's been some fraud going on. A bunch of business owners and the mayor have been faking the whole ghost thing by having the pharmacist fly around like Alphaba on Broadway. And if you don't know what that means, they've been using the cherry picker. And we said this earlier, but this was all done to boost the local tourism economy. Tim Curry admonishes them all.
But props to the pharmacist, because they were using flash paper to get that fire, and flash paper is, like, notoriously unreliable, and this man got it every time. This man was hitting it every time he wanted to throw a fireball.
Mm-hmm. That's where Thorne gets it from. She gets her performance genes from her dad. Now, I know what everyone's thinking. There's 20 minutes left in this film. Mm-hmm. But we just unmasked the ghost, and it's just fraud.
Well, that was the original ending, actually. It's over.
You know, at least we got to see the Hex Girls perform. So I guess it wasn't too bad of a film.
Imagine if this was actually how it ended.
I think this would re-killed Scooby-Doo. We go back to Tim Curry's house, where the mayor and the pharmacists show up to tell Tim Curry that they accidentally dug up Sarah's grave when they built the Puritan village. They swear they only dug up her headstone because no one found any body, there were no bones, they just found the headstone in a pile of rubble. They also mention a large tree stump, which sends Velma into think mode. She knows where this journal is. It's at that tree stump. The one we saw at the beginning of this film. The one that Scooby dug around near and got bit by a gopher. So we go to the tree stump. It's the gang. Tim Curry, the mayor, the pharmacist, and the Hex Girls. And Velma tells Scooby to dig in the same spot he did earlier. And he digs up a chest.
Not without Scooby snacks, he doesn't.
Of course he gets Scooby snacks. He deserves them. He's being a good boy. Now inside this chest is a creepy-ass book.
The most evil book in existence.
Daphne calls it evil.
I've never seen a book look more evil.
Surprise, surprise! Tim Curry is the true villain of the story. This creepy-ass book is an evil spell book, and Sarah was an evil witch. Now he villain monologues it up and says that Wiccans locked Sarah up in her spellbook. As it turns out, Tim Curry orchestrated the whole opening crime scene of the film. He paid the people in the mummy costumes as well as the museum guards off. He did this to lure Mystery Incorporated to the museum so he could meet them, and so they would come with him to Oakhaven and find the spellbook for him. At the end, go ahead.
There, the guards or the people he paid off did tell us he was behind it.
They did. We didn't get the all because of you meddling kids. We got all because of you meddling author. More foreshadowing. At the end of his glorious villain monologue, he uses magic to lock the mayor and pharmacist up in the stocks. He also uses magic to tie the Hex Girls up with some rope, and he traps Fred, Daphne, and Velma in a ring of fire, devouring the scenery while he does so. Shaggy and Scooby have run off, and they grab the mystery machine and rescue Fred, Daphne, and Velma.
And then this is where Tim Curry makes his big mistake.
Which is?
Why is he trying to stop them from leaving? Like, what's the point? He's got magic powers. Is he afraid they're gonna fucking bring fucking Sam and Dean to kill him? What's going on? Just let them leave.
Let them leave. Like, almost 2 decades too early.
Yeah, I know, but like, let them leave, and you still have magic. But because he was trying to stop them, they turn back and steal the book from him.
Yes, Shaggy and Scooby are going to drive out of Oakhaven and, I don't know, probably get a flight to Hawaii or something. But as they're driving, they end up destroying most of the Puritan village because Tim Curry is chasing the van and trying to stop them. At one point, Shaggy and Scooby do get hold of the spellbook, but Tim Curry ultimately gets it back, and he finally releases Sarah Ravencroft's spirit from the book. At this point, there's some really, really cool, spooky animation that happens when he's releasing Sarah. I really love the ghost wind. I just love the look of it. I don't know. Tim Curry welcomes Sarah to the modern world, and we get a good joke when she looks around and she's like, yeah, nothing's changed. Like, you got idiots in stocks right now. Tim Curry wants to rule the world beside his ancestor. It's a little sexual feeling in nature now that I'm looking at this as an adult. It's a little weird.
Definitely feels like
there's incest.
He had a hard-on for his ancestors.
Yeah, there's some incest vibes going on. Don't like that. But Sarah, the girl boss that she is, tells Tim Curry that he's a worm and she's gonna rule the world by herself.
She's right, though. She's way better at this than he is.
Yeah, he got magic like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, but he got magic, and what did he do? He fucking tied some people up with some string. This bitch is killing every plant life imaginable.
Yeah. She kills all the trees in the area. She says she's gonna destroy the world. At one point, we see her send basically green smog at something, and it, like, disintegrates it.
She creates sentient pumpkins?
Yeah, she brings pumpkins and trees to life. She's gonna create a giant turkey in a little bit. She also traps Tim Curry up in a glowing green orb when he tries to send Sarah back to inside the book. But as it turns out, only a Wiccan can re-trap Sarah Ravencroft.
Okay, alright, this is where my problem lies. Alright. So a Wiccan thing, it's not a blood thing. You could be a Wiccan. Frankie could just decide, it's kind of like Christianity. Frankie
it's a religion.
Yeah.
To be fair, originally they don't do it as like, oh, you have like Wicca as bloodline, because like the original line that Sarah says is not that you have to be Wicca. So I think the writers got confused, like they confused themselves, because Sarah originally says you have to be pure of heart.
Yeah.
That's
but
fine.
Then they go on and on saying you only a Wiccan.
Yeah, then they do the part where Velma's like, but only a Wicca can do it, and Thorn, you're 1/16th Wicca.
That's not how that works.
I was like, yeah, that can't be right.
It's a religion. Nobody goes, I'm 16th Christian. We don't fucking say that.
I'm 1/32nd Buddhist, actually. I'll have you know.
We're all 1/16th Christian because we went to a Catholic university.
It just bothers the fuck out of me.
It's real weird.
That somebody you could just, Velma could be like, I've decided to take up Wicca, and then she could fucking do this.
But well, Velma's not pure of heart.
No, she was lusting after Tim Curry.
She's lusting after Tim Curry. She's lusted after that detective in the last movie.
Sam, Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, and Johnny Bravo.
Daphne's more pure of heart. She only has Fred.
Lusting after Johnny Bravo really takes it away. You really can't be pure of heart lusting after that man. I really thought I forgot the ending of this movie. I forgot that Thorn does it. I really thought it was gonna be Scooby when they said you have to be pure of heart. I was like, well,
there's the 2000 movie.
Yeah, there's no one more pure of heart than Scooby-Doo. All he cares about is eating food.
Would Scooby sending Sarah back into the book, would that have been a better ending than Thorn doing so?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so, yes.
I think, and I didn't ask this earlier, but I meant to. I think the Hex Girls are the greatest, like, reoccurring characters to be introduced.
I think you would be correct in that statement.
But them saving the day is weird. Like, in a TV show, if they come back in a TV episode and they save the day for an episode, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But not in the movie. It's gotta be the gang. The gang's gotta save the day.
The gang ruined the day in this one.
The gang ruins the day here. But Amanda, when she was going on about 1/16th Wicca, I was like, that's really weird. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
I was sitting here watching it, and I had meant to like Google. I'm like, isn't Wicca a religion? Like it's not a genetic thing.
And it's also not exclusive. Like, voodoo is a religion, and voodoo is, like, exclusive. You have to be, like, invited in and everything.
Yeah.
But, like, Wicca's not like that. We would know because we all had to take that religion class at Seton Hill.
We didn't talk about Wicca in mine, damn.
Really? Oh, we did. I had the old guy. What was his name with the beard?
Dr. Dave?
No.
I had Dr. Dave for my religion class.
No.
I know who you're talking about.
I can't think of his name.
Who would do the ghost tours?
Yeah, him.
Bill Black.
Bill Black, yes, I had him, and he was amazing. And we learned about Wicca.
You made a cat religion in that course.
I did. You
what
remember
the fuck
that?
What's going on in your class? Damn.
we had so much fun.
She had to make a cult.
I had to make my own religion.
Man, I just read depressing books about the Holocaust in mine. Damn.
Ooh, which one did you take?
I took the honors one because I had to.
I took women in religion, so we just talked about Mama Seton for most of the time.
Nah, mine was dope.
Oh, you're talking about the religion credit. I thought you were talking about Faith, Religion, Society.
That's what I am talking about.
Yeah.
Wait, your Faith, Religion, Society course was lit?
Yeah, mine was
Yeah, mine
dope.
was not lit.
Well,
Mine
was
sad.
Definitely not, no.
We read,
it was
Bill
a good Black
book,
was amazing.
I
had one of the sisters teaching my course.
I had the honors one. We'd read Night. It was a very sad book. It's a good book, but it's
That
sad.
is a very good book.
Oh,
everyone
by Elie
go
Wiesel.
Yeah, and it's great. It's a great book. I think
everyone go
read
Night right now.
Yeah, it's great. I read it in middle school.
But
I read mine in high school.
Man, imagine we were reading really sad books, and then you're over there creating
doing cat yoga for religion
and talking about Wicca.
She snuck one of her kittens into our dorm room because it was necessary for her presentation on her cat cult religion, basically.
Yeah, I was allowed to have the cat for the class, but I wasn't allowed to have the cat in the dorm room for the class.
I'm so upset right now that that's what you got to do in your class, Amanda. That's upsetting.
Yeah, everyone listening to this episode just for Scooby-Doo is like, what the fuck are these people talking about right now?
What weird school did these idiots go to?
Anyone, if you didn't, all our friends from Seton Hill listening to this are like, yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm.
We also had the crime scene house. Y'all remember the crime scene house?
Yes, we all took forensics.
Yeah, we were in the same. Were we all in the same class? No.
I was not. I took mine the semester after, and Amanda gave me all her work.
Yeah, I did.
Not that I really needed it to, cheat in that course.
Yeah.
That was a fun class.
It was super fun. We got to, flick blood splatter. We found out that I have really bad split ends.
Oh, that's right. It was me, you, Ryan, and Ellen.
Ellen, yeah.
Because you and Ryan were lab partners.
Yeah. And you and Ellen were lab partners.
Yeah. That was a fun class.
It was super fun.
All right.
I got a straight razor, and I got to flick blood on a wall.
That was scary. That was frightening for all of us.
That was fantastic.
We were all scared, Hannah. We all backed away, probably.
I would not trust Amanda with the straight razor.
I didn't cut anybody.
No, that's true. You did not cut anyone.
Myself included.
That is the most amazing part.
Mm-hmm. Given that I've cut myself opening a bag of brown sugar with a knife before.
Jesus Christ.
Given that in college, you went to the ER once a semester.
Never for cutting herself, though.
She stabbed herself with an X-Acto knife once.
Oh, that is true.
That is very true. I did do that.
That was the first semester.
Yeah.
I forgot about the X-Acto knife.
But I didn't need stitches.
Well, what an
But everybody thought I needed stitches.
I wonder why. I wonder why they thought that.
There was just a lot of blood.
Should we get back to Scooby-Doo?
We can get back.
Yeah, we can do that.
We're almost at the end. We can talk more Seton Hill stories in a future episode if you want.
We should do a Seton Hill episode.
All right.
I think Seton Hill's gonna call us and be like, "You need to cease and desist."
No,
they can't cease and desist our experiences.
No, but they could try.
All right, Scooby-Doo. We are right. We're close.
Mm-hmm. At this point in the film, the gang basically plays catch and keep away with the spell book.
Can't wait to see that again, but in live action.
Fred, Velma, and Daphne distract Sarah while Scooby and Shaggy grab the book. I'm not gonna get into everything that happens, but just know that she makes a giant turkey, and the animators really captured just how nasty turkeys look.
Also, just as a side note, Scooby and Shaggy said they didn't need to be afraid of turkeys. Turkeys are vicious.
Mm-hmm.
They're psychotic.
Yeah.
I almost got killed by a turkey once.
My dad told me a story once that him and his best friend, they were driving along and a turkey went through their windshield, and in the back of the car was my dad's friend's dad. And when the turkey went through the windshield, like, basically it killed itself coming through the windshield. And so the guy woke up to, like, the crash covered in, like, blood and turkey guts. Turkeys are nuts.
What a way to wake up. Like, that's what I got from that story.
Be like, I'm going back to bed now. I don't want to be here.
You're like, I hope this is a nightmare, actually. Please let me re-wake up.
Not only that, but, like, have you ever seen, like, a turkey, like, my friend Carrie lives out in Boston, like, around, like, right outside of it. And, like, she sent me a news story about, like, these turkeys who, her dog barks at these turkeys all the time. These turkeys went and attacked, like, mailmen and, like, other people just around the town.
They're vicious.
They're terrifying. They should be scared of turkeys. Why are they saying they shouldn't be scared of turkeys?
I think it's because they eat so many turkeys.
Yeah, I think they're just ready to chomp it.
Yeah, their plan is, alright, we'll eat it.
They do, at one point, dress up as Puritans and get a giant bowl of stuffing and turkey baster to scare the turkey.
It works. I would be scared. Especially, that's a live turkey. That stuff's going in you. That can't be comfortable.
Shaggy also throws a bucket of water on Sarah Ravencroft, but she doesn't melt.
Good joke, though.
It is the best joke in the film. Eventually, Daphne and Velma free the Hex Girls, and Velma demands that Thorn stay and help them, because she's the only one who can put Sarah back into the book, which is Amanda's whole problem with this film.
By the way, they could have just said, we need, like, a practicing Wicca to do this.
Yeah.
Or they could have stayed with the Someone Pure of Heart theme.
Yeah, well, they should have stayed with the Someone Pure of Heart thing and had Scooby do it. But if they're really going to go with Thorn has to do it because she's Wicca, it could have just been a practicing Wicca has to do it. Thorn, we know you are one. It fits with the whole character of Thorn. But no, they had to go, I'm 1/16th Wicca.
Fucking weird. Just fucking weird.
So after playing Keep Away for what feels like ages, and by the way, this is only the last, 15 minutes of the film. We only see Sarah's actual ghost for 15 minutes. If that.
It's an impactful 15 minutes.
Yeah, it really is. The spellbook makes its way to Thorn's hands, and she recites the spell, which causes Sarah to be sucked back into the book. But on her way, she grabs hold of Tim Curry and takes him with her.
Yeah,
as you should.
Everyone is saved, the day is saved, and a burning branch falls on the spellbook, and it is burned.
I forgot about that, because, right before that fell, I was like, you know what? I know they made a shitty Zombie Island sequel, but maybe they'll make, a better sequel for this, and then the book burned, I'm like, well, alright then.
I have this question that I was going to ask you guys right at the end of the episode, but, how is Ben Ravencroft's disappearance/death broken to the public? Did he just disappear and there's a manhunt going on for him? Is it like he died over this weekend and he was buried already? Here's his grave?
I think, yeah, maybe just like, he had an accident. A fire! He died in the fire. Obviously, everyone will know that a fire came and consumed the historic village.
Okay.
So it'll be like a fire killed him.
I want to believe that no one ever said anything and there's like a manhunt for him.
Everyone's on the lookout.
Mm-hmm. They're like, there's like $1 million reward from his estate or something and people are searching for him. I want to believe that.
Mm-hmm.
So the Puritan village has basically been burnt to a crisp. Autumn Fest is going to be a failure because there's no witch's ghost. There's no Puritan village. But you know what our capitalist pig of a mayor has? A giant-ass turkey.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Hey. And he's going to use that dinosaur as his golden goose. The film ends with the Hex Girls performing Earth, Wind, Fire, and Air, with the gang joining in on stage, and a giant turkey dancing right beside them, in the crowd. The film ends with the classic Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Do you, by the way, when Sarah goes away, all her magic, except for the turkey for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why the turkey
vanishes. Do you
why
think
is
that
the turkey still there?
You think that tree remembers fucking being, like, alive? Like a sentient being? And now he just, like, lives in agony of knowing he'll never have that again?
I guess.
Because I was gonna ask that about the pumpkins, too, but the pumpkins all, like, fell and got smashed, so they're dead. But that tree is just back being a tree now.
Or is that the tree that burned?
No.
No? Okay.
I don't think so. Maybe it is. I don't know. I hope so. I would hate for it to be in agony like that, not remembering it was once sentient.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost.
Good movie. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we putting it on the list, guys?
What is in our number 2 spot currently?
Number 2 is Ghoul School.
I am inclined to put Witch's Ghost in at number 2.
I don't know if I am.
Tim Curry. Tim Curry, the Hex Girls.
Fine.
I mean, it's already going number 2 because I agree with Hannah.
Ooh,
I'm only doing it for Tim Curry.
To be fair, Amanda, you know where my vote will go in a few weeks, so.
Better go to Cyber Chase.
Scooby-Doo and the Witches. I spelled witch right, damn. And it's a possessive. Get that correct. Alright. Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost is number 2 out of 7 movies.
What's our next Scooby-Doo review?
Well,
what's going to be our next month Scooby-Doo episode?
Our next month's Scooby-Doo episode is not Scooby-Doo Alien Invasion. Next month, we will be doing another thing from 1999. In fact, it debuted in the same block as Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost as part of a big celebration for the next episode of what we're talking about. We're going to be talking about the Scooby-Doo Project.
Ooh.
The official Warner Brothers cartoon Blair Witch Project's parody with Scooby-Doo.
Mm-hmm. I refuse to believe it was Warner Brothers who created this.
It's official.
Yeah,
I refuse to believe that.
It aired on Cartoon Network.
This is a fan-made thing and posted to YouTube.
It's not. It's so weird. It aired during their marathon on Halloween, October 31st, 1999, in small segments. Imagine watching that as a kid. You're just sitting there, you're like, oh my god, we're gonna have a Scooby-Doo marathon, and then all of a sudden, this is airing during the commercials?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is going through your mind?
I'm excited.
Yeah, you're a weird kid.
Ouch.
We watched Rock and Roll this weekend, and you said you watched
that
as a kid.
Can we please talk about this real quick?
You finally watched it, frankly.
I hated it. It was so bad. It was so much worse than I thought it would be.
You cannot be properly warned for how bad it is.
It's, like, the animation's pretty good.
The animation's great.
Yeah, I have nothing against the animators.
it. The voice acting's terrible. The writing is bad.
Hey, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire are great, but, like, they're always great.
How did you feel about the club scene?
That was shit. That movie had one good line in an entire movie.
Do you remember it?
I do remember it. It was from Mock. Is that his name?
Yeah.
And he's, like, yelling at his executives or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, if I want your opinion, I'll tell you what it is. Or I'll give it to you. Which is great for a villain. A great villain line. Everything else about that sucked. That movie was bad. I gave that, it's on my list because it's the first time I watched it. It's number 11 out of 13.
What are the worser ones?
Melody Time.
Oh.
Is that right? Is Melody Time this year? Melody Time is last, and Wolfman. Wolfman is atrocious. And I gave it a 1.5 star on Letterboxd.
You did say they did a good job of hyping up the villain.
They did a really great job of hyping up the reveal of the villain, and then they revealed him too soon.
You should have seen Frankie's face while we were watching it. Not only was he doing this, but we were also trying to build a puzzle.
We were trying to build that puzzle, and my eye was bothering me. So, like, my right eye was sore and watering the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie didn't help. I think the movie actively made my eye worse. It was bad.
I was going to make him watch The Scarecrow afterwards, but I couldn't do that.
Hannah, have you ever watched The Scarecrow?
I have watched bits and pieces.
That thing started and I was about to die.
I think The Scarecrow is a film you can watch and be like, that was bad, but not be haunted by it.
I don't know about that one. I think Frankie was haunted immediately as it started.
Yeah, it was terrible. Anyway, yes, next time we'll be for Scooby-Doo, we're going to be talking about the Scooby-Doo project. There are 2 versions of the Scooby-Doo project out there. One of them is out there. The official version that is out there is the regular one that you would have got if you watched all, like, the commercial breaks. There's an extended cut of it, but I don't know, like, that's not what's uploaded to YouTube, like, officially, but I'm going to see if I can find the extended cut. And
I will somehow watch the wrong one.
I'm going to send you the link if I find it. So we'll try to do the extended cut of that. But next week, Hannah, you're taking the reins again.
I am.
So what are we doing next week?
I do not know how to hint at this episode. I don't know what to say about it.
You can just tell us.
You can just tell us.
No, I'm going to keep it a surprise.
Don't keep it a surprise.
Then we need a hint.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you guys about a woman in history.
That?
You're taking my shine.
I am.
Yeah.
Although you were the first to tell us about a woman in history. I forget which one it was.
Christine de Pizan.
Yeah.
We're going to go to both England and Egypt.
Well, I don't think it's Cleopatra.
It's not Cleopatra.
England and Egypt? It's,
yeah.
Is it the woman is it one of the women who worked on Touchstone?
No.
Were there women that worked on Touchstone?
I don't know. I have no idea.
We don't care about a man's tomb.
I will just leave you guys all in suspense for next week.
I care about his tomb.
If you want to cry, look up King Tut duck shirt, because it makes you realize he was just a child.
Did you say King Tut duck shirt?
Yeah, he had a shirt that was a duck on it.
It had little duckies all around the hem.
It's adorable.
It is, and then you realize, oh, this poor, very inbred child.
Yeah. Do you remember the cartoon that was, like, King Tut was
I do.
Yeah.
Tut in Common or something like that?
Yeah, where he was, like, the actual zombie.
Yeah, of King Tut.
That show was fucking great.
Yeah.
And he had a cat named Cleo.
Yeah.
Or was that the girl?
I forget. I just remember him and being like, oh.
That show ruled. That was a Discovery Channel kids show.
Yeah.
Oh. You're bringing back memories.
I also remember Grossology, too.
Alright, well, next time we'll be talking about a woman that is involved with Egypt and England. So, I guess that's a clue.
Mm-hmm.
Just, if you really want to know, just type in women, England and Egypt. You'll get it, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe, eventually.
Eventually you'll find the right woman. Just start throwing names out there. I think that's it for us today. It's always fun talking about Scooby-Doo. So let's take care of business and wrap this up.
Tuttenstein. That's what it was.
Tuttenstein. Thank you, Amanda. If you are listening to us on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you are aware when every new episode is uploaded. If you are listening to us on Spotify, remember to follow the show, leave a rating and a review. And Hannah, you led the episode, so what's the poll question for Spotify?
Oh shit, I never thought of one. Is there a manhunt for Ben Ravencroft? Yes or no?
Yes or no. Alright. Is there a manhunt for Ben Ravencroft? Yes or no. No matter where you're listening, remember to share the show with people. We would very much appreciate that, and thank you in advance for doing so. If you would like to send us an email with ideas for an episode, some comments, some questions you would like us to answer, you can do so by sending us an email to
Nothing to See Here podcast at gmail.com. As always, here is spelled Hear.
If you would like to see some amazing artwork done by Amanda, some funny memes created by Hannah, and images from some of the things that we discuss in each and every episode, you can see all of that over on our Instagram page, which is at
Nothing to See Here pod.
That is all the business taken care of. So goodbye and good night. It's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
I'm gonna go listen to more Hex Girl songs, I think.
All right. Good use of your time, actually.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.